FloWrestling's here with Yonger Bastida, and the season is rapidly approaching. It's early October. Practice is just a few minutes away. So first, tell us, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. Just getting to October. Just training hard and just getting ready for what is coming. That is the season in November. So
yeah, and injury-wise and health-wise, are you feeling like you're ready to go? I mean, anything could happen at any time, but right now.
Right now I'm ready to go. Yeah, ready to go. Just getting ready for it, for what is coming.
Yeah.
Which last year I couldn't compete at all as much, so just getting ready.
And is this the any more eligibility, or is this the final season?
No, that's the final season for me. So
yeah. All right. So the first competition of the final season, I'm not sure if you're going to be doing the wrestle-offs. Are you in that?
Yeah,
okay.
We're doing the wrestle-off the 25th and the 26th.
Yep.
Before, yeah.
So we're talking to Coach Dresser about that. Mm-hmm. That's there's a lot of competition on this
team. A lot. We got 7 Americans, and we got other guys around the team that they are really good, that it could be on that spot moving forward. So it's a really good team. So.
Mm-hmm. And then the NWCA All-Star Classic. Mm-hmm. When did you find out that you were going to be competing in that?
Probably like 10 days, 2 weeks ago. Instead I find out that that I will be competing in, and yeah, I'm looking forward for it and ready.
Yeah, how familiar were you with that event? I know it's been going on the last couple years, but it's also got a really long history in college wrestling.
Yeah, like last year, I was about to compete, in it, but I got hurt like 2 weeks before that, and then, I couldn't go. But yeah, it's a fun event to watch, and especially the best guy in the nation will be in it. So.
Yeah, and your teammate Anthony's got a big match coming up. So is it cool that you guys get to travel together?
Yeah.
And you probably know each other pretty well.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Like Anthony and I, we grew up together, and going there to that All-Star meet is gonna be a great time for us too. So.
Yeah. What do you know about your opponent, Taye Ghadiali, now at Michigan, formerly of Campbell?
Well, my first year that I wrestled heavyweight, I saw him. He's pretty good. He's pretty athletic. He moves well, but I'm looking forward for that match. So I've been watching him for a few years now. So yeah.
How would you describe his style, if you could, in a few words?
A few words. I'll be athletic and a little bit aggressive, and that's how wrestling is.
How would you describe your style? Would it be the same?
Maybe a little bit more athletic and aggressive too, but we're there. We'll find out in a few weeks.
Talking about your final season here with Iowa State, I made sure I got this right here, but the last heavyweight national champ for Iowa State, and they've had a lot of champions and looking at the walls and all the history, but David Zabriskie back in 2010.
2010, yeah.
So do you feel like the Cyclones are overdue for heavyweight?
Yeah. Well, I feel like after this year we might have some other new guys coming in and get the job done for a heavyweight, but like we got Chris Taylor too back in 70 something 80s. So
yeah, big Chris Taylor.
Yeah, and the guy that you mentioned. So I'm looking forward to get that title this year, and we'll see what's gonna happen.
Do you feel like there's more pressure to perform for the team? Is there a pressure to perform because you want to accomplish a goal and this is your last chance on the collegiate level, or are you thinking with a different mentality going into this?
There is no pressure. It's just gotta get the job done, and first what I have to get it done is here in the room. So when I get out there, it's easier. So there is no pressure. You're just ready.
In 2024, you had a really good Big 12s. You beat Wyatt Hendrickson, who went on to have a pretty big year last season, but then NCAA's didn't turn out the way you wanted. Fell one match short. What have you learned from that experience that you can apply?
And what I learned, you can say I don't know, like every competition is different. So and do not overlook your opponent. So I feel like that's the best thing that I learned from that year. So.
And I mentioned Wyatt just because I think it was 10-7 victory over him.
7, yeah.
And then he kind of jumped the level and then had a season where he beat Gable Steveson,
Last
among
year.
everyone else, won the Hodge, won obviously the NCAAs.
Yeah.
When you're seeing all that happen on TV and everything, does it give you confidence? Does it frustrate you that you were sitting on the bench that year, or recovering? But what were the emotions when you see a guy?
The emotions, like I said it before in another interview, that guy could have been me, like that year, but it didn't happen the way that I wanted. I got hurt and I was sitting out, but it wasn't a frustrating emotion. It was more like it could have been me, and I'm happy that he got it done too. So it was a big accomplishment for him. So I was happy at the same time.
And then he went on to make the senior world team, but I believe your teammate's on the U23 world team, correct, Daniel?
Yeah. Daniel is. Yeah, he is.
So does that make you think about freestyle too, and like going to the future? I don't want you to look too far ahead. You got more matches, and this season is going to be the most important thing right now. But are you thinking long term, more freestyle?
Yep, that's my mentality. I want to do freestyle at least until 2028 for the Olympics. So I'm looking forward to that after college. So.
Do you have a preference? I mean, right now it's folk style season, so folk style is probably your favorite right now. But growing up it was freestyle, right? So
I like folk style because I gotta learn it in the last 5 years. But like my favorite is freestyle for real. I grew up doing it, so freestyle is my favorite.
And we talked to Anthony. He's got we did a whole documentary on his journey from Cuba to the United States. How much do you feel comfortable saying about what your journey was like and how you ended up in Ames, which is quite a different place with these facilities and this team?
So the only thing I would say is that I was in the Olympic team down there, and then one day, like I bought my ticket, I flew out of Cuba. Like I got lucky that they didn't stop me at the airport, which that was the most scary thing was to get caught in the airport, and they would start maybe take me to a room and ask me questions, which they have done it with all the artists in the past. They didn't want to leave the country like that. But they did it, and then just got out of Cuba and went to another country, and then came. I got my visa and I came here.
And then, how did you go from wherever you started in the United States to Iowa State? What were the connections? What were the people that helped you get onto this team?
Well, I feel like Fernando. I was talking to Fernando, and he helped me. He was here. I reached out, and then we make the connection, and that's how we got here.
We asked this to Anthony too, but how nice is it having your English is great, by the way, better than my Spanish. I know it's very difficult to change locations, language, culture is different, but you have a good Cuban contingent here, so you have some guys that have similar experiences and guys that you know already. So how nice is that having that group there? Here?
So when I got here, I was here by myself, and I couldn't talk to anybody, because I was I didn't know English or anything. But having that group of Cuban here, like Usmani, Anthony, and Ranieri, it's it's good, because you at least get to talk to somebody that you know for a long time, and it's good to have them here. So it's.
And then how much do you get to influence like where people choose to eat? Do you say like, okay, we've had Iowa, we have this kind of food. I need some Cuban food. I don't know if they have good Cuban food in Ames.
They don't, but there is a restaurant in Des Moines. There is Cuban, which sometimes I will go there and eat, but I'm allowed to eat every single food in here. So we gotta I don't know if you guys went to the SPC, which is the buffet, which we got different options in there, which but yeah, I miss the Cuban food, but you guys got a great food in here too, so.
Yeah, it's a good consolation. You don't have Mom's Cooking anymore, but you do have that facility that we were at. Sports Performance Center.
Performance Center, yep.
And it allows you guys to focus on, if you're going up, you went from 197 to 285. It's a lot of pounds. You got to get bigger.
You got to get bigger.
You got a place that you can go to help you fuel up.
And if you got a co-way, you got the beige there too. So it's a good facility.
All right. I don't have too much more, but I'm just kind of curious. Anything this year? You had 1 year basically no competitions because of being injured, and the year before that was your first year at 285. So there's always been an adjustment every year. And then, of
Yep.
course, when you're new to the U.S., there's a lot of other adjustments
Yep.
off the mat. So what is this year that you're going to work on the most, or that you feel like is going to be your key to reaching the goals and being a national champ?
Just Tim Dresser said it like on you guys interview, I think, or somebody else interview. Consistency, I gotta be consistent during the year, and then when March comes, be on my top percent and and get it done. So that's the word, consistency.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, it's a great thing to focus on, because hopefully you have a lot of competitions, starting with those wrestle-offs at the end of October. NWCA All-Star Classic, Taye Ghadiali, big heavyweight bout.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the season, you got the Cyclones don't shy away from tough matches. Iowa's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Any of those dates that you're looking at, Ben Keeter with Iowa, I imagine that's somebody that you're looking forward to competing with.
Yeah. That's the biggest duel, in November. Actually, that's the biggest duel, college wrestling, Iowa State. So yeah, I'm looking forward for that rematch.
And then how much fun is it competing in a state that values wrestling the way Iowa does, and you'll have duels where it's 15,000 people in the arena?
I would say it's the best. Like, I've been to different places here in America, and I wrestle on different stages, and I feel like in Hilton or either in Carver Arena, like the vibe is different. The support is something that I can't even explain. Like it's different.
Well, it's a lot of fun watching you compete. You always put on a show. We're looking forward to it. Anything else before we let you get ready for practice so you can get ready for this season?
Yeah, I'm just ready, and I just want to say to Cyclones fan and fans and everybody out there, just keep in touch, and I'm ready. Just wait for me to do what I do every time that I step on the mat. I'm ready.
All right, we're looking forward to you step on the mat. Thank you,
Sounds
Younger.
good.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
and
thank
we'll
you
see you out
guys.
there in practice.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.